There's definitely some places that you'll be able to get to better when it's off the board. So that's what we're going to do now. We get our spatula and we're going to find where the paper is and sort of work it around like this. The trick is to keep it flat, not prise. We just work it forward like this. There we go. So there's our bow tie off the backing board. So we see we've got all this at the back. What we'll do, what I suggest we do is we just get sort of sandpaper on a flat surface and rub it like this, get that paper off. And then we can look at the back here and do any sort of cleaning up around this edge that we might need to do. Here's the back sanded off. Whatever vise you're using, you want to pad it, and I've used some carpet underlay here and double-sided tape to sort of stick it down. And it really wants to be wide enough to grip it here through this strong bit. So putting it in there. It doesn't have to be too tight because it just got to not move. And now I can get at these bits here and I can undercut that a bit more if I want. And then I can tidy up these notches. So I'm going to go around the back, all these little bits, tidy them up. I've already done this side here. You can see I've just cut down here, trim that up. Make sure this is all neat around the back. Sand any bits that you haven't got at, and then it's ready for finishing. Here's our finished carving. All the edges have been complete. Before we do the finish though, the actual finish, we need to work out where the strap is going to go. And I've taken a strap off that rather nasty bow tie that I started with. So this is what I'm going to use. You'll need something that's adjustable. And a bit of experimenting showed me that actually a really good thumbtack or push pin, or what we call a drawing pin in the in the UK here, this will be enough to pin that strap there across here like this. So I'll do that later. The other thing to mention is that this wood is really light, but it might be that if you've got a heavy wood, you might hollow out some of the wood here in this area once you've worked out where this this strap goes. I wouldn't put just one point in the middle because it'll tend to do this, so I would put 2 points here. So having worked out the strap, having thought about whether you want to hollow it, we're ready to put a finish on it. So what finish are we going to use? Well, if I use oil, then I know the figuring is going to come out a lot more, so I'm not going to do that. Happy to have it a light colour. I'm going to use an oil wax finish. I'll put some notes about that below or in the download. You could use acrylic varnish. I wouldn't make it shiny because this is fabric, so although it's smooth, it's still fabric and still wants to be, I think, wants to be sort of polished, if anything. So with my oil wax finish, I'm going to just brush this on. And you can see even with this, you get a degree of the lines coming through. These are light, I don't think they really mind too much, but and this will dry clearer. And I know that this wood will dry more yellow. Will go more yellow with age. So finishing off like this into there. This might need a second coat. It dries very quickly. And here. Now you could do the front like this, let that dry, and then do the back separately. And that's probably a good idea. But if you do them both, if you do the back, like let's say I do it now, let's put this stuff all over here. Then there's a little trick that we can use that will help us. Because what we're going to do is put this flat down on something, it'll stick to it. So what I would do is I'd put a lot of these drawing pins, these push pins here, upside down like this, something like that. And then you can rest this on those pins so that it's not actually sticking to anything. So I'll let that go dry, and then I'll put a second coat on and make sure it's all polished, and then I'll fit the strap, and I think we're ready to wear it. Here's the finished bow tie. I think it looks great. The wood will go a bit yellower as it ages. I know that because I've seen the original piece of wood. Here's the back, a couple of these pins. It's amazing how they are gripping, but you might think of another system, perhaps a little screw or something. And of course we've got to be careful this doesn't show. But there you go. We've got the two ends, so we can fit this. Put our shirt on, see how it looks.